on to the rest of this.
So your deductive reasoning here, your reasoning here is flawed. Because whether or not you put your information out in May, and that was with, you knew of William Weeks, I can prove that.
I would like for you to prove that I knew who William Weeks was before his death. I would love to see you prove that. Absolutely, Dean. Prove that. Because I didn't. I knew Von Helton, but I wasn't getting involved with patrol shit. I wasn't getting involved with any of that. I was watching Von Helton for a specific reason. I wasn't looking at Chang. Von Helton might have mentioned Chang, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I was looking at Von Helton's mannerisms and his behaviors.
Oh, I see. So, Von Helton did mention Chang, but you were not paying attention to that. But you knew of Chang because he mentioned it. Guy like you? Letting the details slip? Don't think so. I don't know. Am I bragging you up? Or are you an idiot? No, you're not an idiot. No, you were watching Weeks as well. See, you already, in your own debate, mentioned you knew William Weeks. And I know you guys knew William Weeks. What he was up to, what he's about. You cannot look at William Weeks without taking a second look. I mean, okay, let's say William Weeks showed up in your let's say William Weeks showed up in my screen, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, okay, this guy's pretty nasty. Look at him, threatening everybody. Yeah, right. Okay. You're into this psychological warfare, and you overlooked William Weeks? Give me a break, man. Cancer Man, Nightmare. I've seen you play. You're a psycho. You're absolutely, yeah, exactly word for you. You're a psycho. You go for the guts, man. And you're telling me you never seen an appetizer as juicy as William Weeks? Of course, after he's dead, you'd try to distance yourself. That makes a lot of sense. But come on, get real. Don't lie. You admit to lying a lot because that's what you need to do for your psychological warfare. But come on. Are you really trying to lie that badly? Even myself, I'm half aware right now, and if William Weeks crossed my eyes, I'd be like, whoa, look at this guy. Man, that's meat. There's a guy that you can sink your teeth into. Come on. William Weeks. If he was still alive, you'd be eating him for lunch. But he's dead. And you're distancing yourself. Even your trolls were after him. Boom to Tigger, who's now Nightsaber01 on your account, and that other guy was after him. They all were everybody of the Von Helton side was after William Weeks. So come on, give me a break. At least admit a little more than what you're admitting right now, because all you're doing is just lying. So that's as much as anybody can prove it, is that, all you have to do is logically think about it. Juicy steak comes across your plate, you're going to eat it. And William Weeks was psychological warfare guy's wet dream. He's dead now, so yeah, distance yourself all you want, but yeah. Not gonna buy it. I don't think anybody else will there, buddy. Especially after your part 4 here. Yeah, you blew it. Just watch what you say from here on in. I'm just gonna play it out because, man, you blew it.
As I am now doing with you.
That you were aware of. If if you were helping Von Helton or jumping onto the Von Helton bandwagon, you knew about William Weeks well ahead of before, because William Weeks was attacking Von Helton. William Weeks would have been on the deal.
Okay, I'm slow at saying it, but William Weeks would have been on your radar for sure.
What you're saying now is, just because you speak highly of William Weeks like he was a victim doesn't mean anything to me, because William Weeks was attacking Von Helton, and you were protecting Von Helton for a time there, and you obviously knew he was one of the players.
You have no idea what's going on.
But you were playing back then as part of this.
You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea.
Okay, it cannot.
Yeah, well, you lost control of your trolls, and they started running amok and disturbing too many people, so then you got to crack down and get control of all the people that work for you. I have a clue what's going on. It's called reining them in. And you did. You threw docs out at George Bush Pimps. You threw docs out at Threatened Dark Zodiac 101. He's now your pet. I have a straight idea what's going on, because I know exactly how this works.
You cannot.
Sure it can. Sure it can. It can be denied because it didn't happen. And I invite you to try to prove that it did. What am I supposed to have said to William Weeks? I want you to go out there, and I want you to find comments that I posted or videos that I supposedly posted about William Weeks. I challenge you to that. You said you...
Well, that's a decent challenge, but it just kind of tells me there's nothing out there. But it still doesn't clear you. You see? Because you were doing your psychological warfare like you're doing to me. I can't see you passing up a juicy steak like William Weeks. I mean, the guy is corrupt. He's some hick out in the middle of nowhere. Can't argue his way out of a paper bag. All he does is threaten. And he's got this troll fanaticism. Man, like, I can't see you not seeing a juicy steak. Like I can't see you not taking the bait of William Weeks. And you might have. It might be William Weeks here. If he didn't commit suicide, he'd be right here facing you. Right? And now he's dead. You've distancing yourself away, and he was. You asked me to prove if William Weeks was on your radar. Oh, he was. Before he died, he was on your radar. Oh, definitely, he was viciously attacking Von Helton. There is no doubt about it that he was on your radar, that you knew of him. And you're using that analogy. Like, I'm just going to speed this up because in Dean Roger A Part 4, you use an analogy of a gas station attendant that... so you admit to knowing him. You admit he was in the game. And you admit knowing him, but you don't remember him. That's admitting you know him. Okay, that's admitting you interacted with him, because you didn't buy gas from William Weeks. You knew him. He was trolling Von Helton. So you knew him. And you freely admitted it. You laid down a challenge. You lost. Get on with it. Okay? Life goes on. I'm not going to debate this anymore, because these are things you try to drag people into, but you lost. You knew him. You had to have known him. And you're distancing yourself. You're on the run from that. Because you're not just an investigator, you're a player that got involved. And you also trolled. Which I can prove pretty easily that you've been trolling. Okay. And trolling is not just... trolling is debating too. And not coming to logical conclusions. Ignoring all the conclusions and just plain... That's not debating. Like, what you call debating... Sit there taunting a person, and then sitting there throwing out your part of the story, and then sitting there and not correcting it when somebody corrects you. I showed you what happened at Waco. I didn't see the other rebuttal going, oh, you're right, that's what happened, man. Oh, man. I didn't see that video where you have said, oh, oops, man. You know, no, I'm going to carry out the FBI story, which is a cover story, and you're going, you know, like, bull, BS. Okay? Do you know what the FBI stands for? Federal Bureau of Federal Investigation or something? Nah, yeah, I'm Canadian. Federal Bureau of Investigations. Which means they have to be trusted. Okay? You can't go with a cover story that's BS and then ask for respect. You can't. Okay? It can't be done. You can't have all these dualities you're asking for here. And I'm going to make a video on those dualities that you have that allows you to get away with what you're doing. I'm going to intercept every one of them. I'm going to talk about them because they're double thinks. You think you can get away with this side and you think you can get away with the other. It's the same as Montagraph and UK Troll. You know, she at one time went against Monograph, and then now she's with Monograph, and they figure they can get away with it after they said what they said. Well, it's time to remind everybody that there's a duality there. That these trolls interchange all of a sudden, and you're sitting at the opposite end thinking, okay, how did that happen? So you got a lot of duality in your argument. Okay? You got a lot of stuff like this. In Dean Roger Ray Part 4, it is proven you knew William Weeks. Whether you say you've transacted with him, okay? Then if you come up and you're doing a transaction, so what you say is you've interacted with William Weeks, but it's no big deal because you bought gas from him. Well, you can't buy gas from him because the situation, the analogy, in order for it to fit into what William Weeks was doing, he was arguing against Von Helton. So you just went up and you interacted with him, but it was just harmless. Okay, now how does that work? Exactly. How does your analogy match exactly to William Weeks here? So you've come across him, but you didn't do it. Okay, even that. Okay, at that time. So what you should have said is that at the time before May, before he died, you didn't interact on the level that put any pressure on him. And you'd like to challenge me to prove that there was pressure. Well, you could have worked behind the scenes. And you think you're getting away with it, but you're not. There's a dead troll out there. And trolling caused it, buddy. And you're part of the trolls. Okay? I'm a victim. I self-defended myself. That's a whole different story. You know, and since when do you come up, get on screen, and start telling people that William Weeks was a victim when he was a troll? Okay? A troll that got defeated. See, you don't have you don't have the right to that duality, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have the right to call William Weeks a victim. You don't have that right. And you don't have the right to say you were uninvolved, because you were involved at that time. You see, and all it says to me is that, man, that needs more investigation. That's all it says to me. This guy here needs to be investigated to see if he was involved. Because you were involved. Which means you're not a neutral guy that can look at things. You're manipulating.